Azami is the ultimate site architect, and I did so much experimentation, okay? This is the fruit of that labor. You're gonna get 3 videos. 1, meta bomb sites. 2, not so meta bomb sites. And 3, weird off-site holes that you can only do with Azami. Alright, let's get started. Coastline. You can do a lot here. Only 2 barriers, and you can create this kinda interesting, awkward setup. Easy to hide AESs as well. They'll keep it up for a minute. It only takes 1 barrier to block the angle from hookah window on the hookah rotate. This actually kinda matters. You can't vault luggage if someone's playing in luggage, and if they block the windows off with Azami barriers, it's gonna be hard to get them out. You can also block VIP hall window. You know who Azami's worst enemy is gonna be? Flores. Flores really tears up what you do. Finally, we have a great counter to the kitchen drone hole. There really previously wasn't a good counter to this. With only 3 barriers, you can create this very nice and safe kitchen hold. You got a nasty angle on the kitchen door. You got another good one on the service entrance, and meanwhile, you're blocked from view from kitchen window, meaning you can swing it when you want. These barriers, they work very well with what are already common ADS spots. Clubhouse. So usually, when you lose garage on a CCTV defense, you don't get it back, but Azami can really change the way these situations work, specifically retakes, because she can cover the rotates. This barrier, it means that losing garage ain't the end. You can potentially just rotate someone right back in. It also happens to cover the common warbang from breach into the garage, which means that if this is something you usually reinforce, now you don't need to. And every reinforcement on this bomb site matters, so I like this barrier. Kiba Nade Reversal. Very cool Azami concept. First operator I think that can really trick math. This is a pretty common method on how to open a wall. A lot of people do this. You can potentially cause a team kill here. This is gonna be a very effective thing to do on many maps, not just this one. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with this electroclaw placement, where you can block its view from the window with a concrete barrier. You can cut off the red stairs rotate from Khan, making the rotation into cache safer. One of the best things about Azami is your ability to turn very bad cover into very good cover, and like on a whim, once you already know where they're coming from. And then you got sites like Church Arsenal, where like the attack can push main, blue, dirt, moto, kitchen hatch, any combination of those things. Azami's gonna thrive in these types of situations because she can adapt the bomb site to an attack or push mid-round. Oh, they open the kitchen hatch. Who cares? Take away their angles. You should be aware this may make it easier to drop hatch in certain situations. You gotta prep for this. This setup's got a very cool feeling to it. I really like this. This sliver's pretty disgusting too. Border. This electroclaw is awesome. It gets both sides of Armory wall, but you can just aim up and shoot it. Well, the zombie can change that. Now you need explosives.
That covers it completely.
This is pretty cool. You can create this pillar using 3 barriers behind Armory wall and run it half open. Would be awesome with a deployable shield, maybe a mirror.
Changing mags! 5 seconds remaining.
You're definitely gonna need heavy ADS support, at least 2. 1 maybe, you need 2. The attacker angle from East Balcony or Archives on the half wall can be easily blocked. This makes for a much safer Armory wall hold. You can block off small office, and no attacker's gonna push in through metal detectors, see that, and say, hey, I'm gonna punch that 3 times and get in there. You ain't gonna have the time to do that. You can basically render sandwich window useless. They could just swing in using the cover you gave them, but if somebody is watching sandwich window somebody competent, that's a suicide swing. You're dead. So I really like this. You create this zone of safety where previously you couldn't really operate at all because of the window. And with a new rotate here, you got this donut formation. You can kind of play around this until it breaks. Furniture, furniture, furniture. It's always furniture with Azami. This extension, it's pretty cool. Besides the fact that you get these cool slivers in the square, it covers the rotate, which means you can move in and out of workshop into this position as you please. Overall, I think all those things make workshop actually a really nice site to play.
Skyscraper.
Karaoke T is split right down the middle by this very divisive hallway, very much separating both bomb sites. Putting up this wall and knocking down these walls fundamentally changes the nature of this bomb site so completely, it's going to be very fun to try. You might want to consider covering the angle from Karaoke window if you get the chance. I actually place this one third before I fully complete the wall. I've got this mirror strat that I love running on Karaoke D. I actually think it complements this Azami strat very well. Here's the mirror strat. I really dig this setup. It's one of my favorite mirror strats of all mirror strats. And I love mirror strats.
Subscribe.
Three. They're all engaged at what? Looks like 2 or 3 people are up there.
I really like the idea of using Azami to create extensions that you kind of play like Elbow on Oregon, where once you're not feeling it, once they burn your ADS, you back off, you reinforce, and then they knock down your walls for nothing. I kind of like this. So Mute cannot block this stronghold. Attackers just shoot it from the window. Azami can block it. Set and forget. This single barrier blocks almost all danger of wallbangs in the office. Nice.
Oregon.
Oh no, the breach is open. That's okay. Create this cool pillar of cover right here. Attic door and the rotate, they're now safe from the breach angle. This might make them want to go for an early plant, but to be honest, that's probably a free kill for your team. Sometimes as a defender, you wish you could swing something, like top white, but you can't, because maybe it's being covered. Well, Azami can fix problems like that. Obviously, this might instigate a jump in. Blocking lines of sight, it goes both ways. By far, my favorite thing that I think I'll be doing with Azami in the basement is adding another pillar to pillar. You can put a hidden rotate behind this thing, and it gives you some really interesting mix-ups you can do. Notice how I got from here to here without crossing where they expect you to cross.
Favela.
Favela is a super underrated map, and it always was. Yeah, it always was. If you're deciding that you hate maps before you really know how to play them, don't even talk to me. This barrier placement, it blocks off a major attacker angle from yellow stairs. It does leave open a little sliver, so if you want to back up, you can play that sliver. But for the most part, it covers the rotate between sites. Also, the angle can be kinda disgusting. So I really like this bomb site with this wall open. It just gives you this great free-flowing feeling. You can really command the space. However, this angle's too good for the attack, so you gotta wall it off. Drop some ADSs, you know? Now you got this great breathable space. If they try to plant in the doorway, just nitro them over the wall that you just made. Easy peasy. These are basically the same bomb site, and that strat will work for both of them. So since people hate Favela anyway, I'm moving on.
Consulate.
Fuck Consulate. That's what I think.
Cafe.
With only 3 barriers, you can create a safe zone large enough to cover half the bar. Either side of the bar, either the door rotates. This is a massive buff to your team's collective ability to move around and respond to threats. That is, as long as you can keep it standard, which, you know, ADSs, magnets, yada. You really need your explosives on this bomb site as an attacker. This is just one more thing to maybe blow up. You might not want to. There's a lot more effective bulletproof furniture. The fact that you could just tell Mute to play shotgun on one of these things virtually anywhere. could be pretty obnoxious. You can place a guard closet extremely effectively, giving yourself fully bulletproof cover and kind of a sliver shot. You can create some very interesting Christmas holds. I will be experimenting more with this. Alright, I think this is cool for some reason. You can create this cool V-shaped cover. It reminds me of Halo for some reason. You can kinda trace the V-shape with your crouch stance. And no one's ever gonna be as practiced fighting you through this thing as you are fighting through this thing. So if you put a Volcan here, and a Kiva barrier here, the attackers from their perspective will not be able to see the Volcan. There are like a billion variations of what you could do with Kiva barriers in the kitchen. One surefire way to catch a lot of people by surprise is to be higher up than they expect you to be. It sucks looking up. Nobody likes to look up, especially with a mouse. The farther you push your arm out, the more fine motor control you lose. Another very likely Maverick grenade hole fight could happen.
Chalet!
リロードする
Piano windows, very powerful for the attack, because it allows you to hold an angle in the study, but also kind of allows you to lock down the rotation in the piano from closet, if it's there, which it should be. Azami can remove that with one of her 5 barriers. Ventral repel is also very strong for the attack. Locks down a lot of the same rotations, and also some others. 3 barriers. You're gonna need ADSs to protect this. Probably more than one, but I think it's worth it. So imagine Twitch is pushing study door. You can place this barrier, which doubles as rotate protection and a sliver shot against study door. It's pretty nice. A horizontal sliver favors the weapon with less vertical recoil. Both of your weapons have very low vertical recoil. If you put all of that together, you get this very comfortable bomb site where you're not worried about getting blindsided by angles like you used to be. I'm not a basement guy, but we're going there, and we're going there because people like it for some reason. Kiba nade reversal coming in clutch again. Maverick cuts his stupid little hole and whop, and he nades himself. Very funny. You can block off the trash plant, which would be very annoying if you rushed in the plant and you couldn't plant, and you didn't expect that and then got shot in the side of the head. Snowmobile makes easy cover. Obviously, bulletproof furniture. It's gonna be a lot harder to kill that Cade Claw now. It's a 2v2, okay? In the attack, they lost the breach fight, so they're coming down the main stairs. This sucks for them. You're gonna see their legs before they can shoot you.
Theme park!
There are so many drone holes in Throne. It's never really been viable to think that you could completely block drones out of a Throne defense. Now you can. So if Azami were to block these 3 drone holes, alright, it would enable Mute to do serious work with only 2 jammers. Leaving 2 jammers still on the table to play with. The Throne pedestal in Throne is kind of like the key cover within the room, and you can adapt this to an attack or push very much on the fly. Like maybe the breach opens. No longer so much of a problem. Is the attacking team trying to nade over the breach? You're very good at dealing with this kind of thing. By extending out from this arcade cabinet with 2 barriers, you create a zone of safety that previously did not exist. And you create 3 short-range engagement possibilities around the person playing there. Meaning if you put a shotgun in their hands, they're gonna win most of the gunfights that they get into.
Canal!
So this window gives attackers a lot of free sight pressure. Make it go away. This is a common position played against New Bridge. Problem is, once the breach opens, you really can't be here no more. Azami can fix that problem. There are a lot of places in this game where it's really not safe to stand for very long. And Azami can kind of relieve the pressures, the common angle pressures that disallow these locations. I just want to remind you of this thing I'm calling Kiba nade reversal. Another very cool Azami concept that I've been messing around with is hiding nitros in places that you then seal up with an Azami barrier. Barbed wire may assist in the lethality of this trap. Hard to play in bunks for very long because there's no real way to deny the breach here, and this bed, it doesn't even really count as cover. Well, now it does, if you're Azami. You will be able to create slivers between the bed and the breach. And this barrier here, it allows you to move around a little bit without being shot from laundry window. This single barrier makes whoever's playing top yellow much safer, as they can no longer be shot from laundry window. And you can trace this backwards and forwards up and down laundry stairs without leaving lethal shotgun range. So if you place a barrier here and you knock out these walls like this, and then you create a second barrier right here, you get this 3-room rotation that's covered from game's window. You can get very aggressive, really change up your swings a lot, and once you get your pick, reinforce it back up. Why not? Place your crosshair on the right side of this black circle on the gaming table. It's gonna create this cool Pac-Man shaped cover. This gives you a great sliver on the game's window, but it can be used in reverse on the terrace door. These two barriers in garage will allow you to hold the sliver on the locker's window, where normally you would be exposed to vending window. This makes it much easier to swap between the vending locker's window. I like the idea of reinforcing games, okay? And you place this barrier here and have a teammate play shotgun on it. A barrier here provides great cover against bull door. And a barrier here, it covers your rotate against shock door.
Hey,
An operator who blocks lines of sight with bulletproof barriers from range. Yeah, we're going to CEO first. This bomb site, it has poor on-site cover, and even so, it's very defensive favored. And you can change that significantly. You can block the angle on the CEO rotate from janitor door, which, that's not exciting, but it has an effect, you know? I also really like this. I think I like this more, actually. You can kind of create this cool sliver through the shelves in janitor. Creating cover in walls where there was none is kind of like what defines a site. Rework. Azami almost kind of reworks sites. Bulletproof shelves, bulletproof couch, bulletproof desk. There's a lot of bulletproof stuff. It looks like the keeper barriers used in the computer. Stupid. I like a barrier here and a rotate behind it. At least until the hatch opens. It lets you move between gold and security a lot easier. So security hatch, it's a big part of the meta when it comes to attacking basement on bank. And you don't fix all the problems that this causes, but you can kind of relieve them a little bit. I hope that now you have a better grasp of this character and what you think you'd like to do with her and what you wouldn't. There are definitely some 5-man defense strat videos that this made me want to do. Karaoke T comes to mind. But the thing is, Azami sounds kind of like Italian meat, and now I'm hungry, so goodbye.
subscribe.